biomagnetism and bioenergy, which is the energy part of biomagnetism. This is the therapy done with magnets. And what the magnets do is restore the balanced pH in your body, which is 7. Most of the illnesses are in an acidic environment. About 75% of all the illnesses that exist are in an acidic environment. Another 15% are in an alkaline environment, but they're not so harmful. So what the process is, we do muscle testing from head to toes, naming all the organs, muscles, tendons, glands, and systems. And when there is an imbalance point in your body, one of your legs will shorten it. The muscle testing can be done with arms, fingers, head, legs, different parts. So we find the imbalance points, and then we know where to put the magnets on. When we put the magnets on, it creates, like I said, a neutral pH, which is 7. And everything that is in around pH 7.02 down or up is in a healthy environment. So that means that no virus, bacteria, fungi, or parasites can live in a healthy environment. So the magnets create a field, and it signals the pH in that part of the body to go back to neutral. Then the agent that causes the illness has to leave. It can evacuate the body, or it can go and hide in certain organs, which is the thymus gland or the rectum. Usually they hide over there. So with the second treatment, we make sure that these agents leave the body. Once they're out of your body can start healing, restoring, regenerating. It's the same when you have a cut. You have an infection. It cannot close and heal. First, you have to get rid of the agent that does the infection, which usually is a bacteria, and then your wound can heal. Same thing happens in the body. So then, let's say you have done 2 or 3 treatments, which are the ones we recommend. Then your energy has an availability of energy extra that expended before trying to control those agents. And that energy can be spent after in regenerating systems, cells, or even giving you a higher, more peaceful state of being. So you feel better, you sleep better, you make the right decisions, you go with a better attitude towards the situations that you encounter in life. Now, this is biomagnetism as itself in a physical part, when the people go and have the treatment done. And many people want that done because they have something physical that they can notice and see. But that also can be done in an energetic way, which is called bioenergy. When a practitioner does bioenergy on a person, connects with the soul or the energy entity of that person, and it receives the messages through other things like, for example, the Akashic records, when you go and read a person past and present and future. Or you can do regressions and progressions and go and find out things about that person over there. Everything is written in the universe in energy, about everybody, about everything. So you just, when you do bioenergy, you go and tap into that field and connect with the person's soul. So you you check and you perceive which points are imbalanced. You balance the points, and then that energy is transferred to that person energetically, which is instantly. Then the person receives that, and it affects that person by healing from the inside out, because everybody has a soul, and that's energy that you received when you were born. So when that soul knows what's right and what's wrong, it knows exactly, because it's created perfectly, it receives the energy, and then it manifests in your physical body. Any questions so far about it? everybody looks at me like, what is he talking about?
I have a
Yes.
question. Okay, so how do you know that it goes to the thymus and the other part you said?
Because the originator of this process, which is a Mexican doctor, which is Dr. Goiz, and he did his thesis about this biomagnetism process in the University of Oxford, through a long period of time and testing, came out through medical checkings that they go and hide in those points. So then you have to really go into it and make them leave that out of your body. So, because if, let's say you have one treatment that, and you eradicate the agent that caused the illnesses, and it hides somewhere else, you might feel good. But you only feel good until you have a shock or a stress in your life. Then your energy field lowers. When your energy field lowers, it affects your immune system. When the immune system is the one that controls every agent that there is out there, and we all have them in our bodies, it's just they're under control. And so that's why you don't notice them. But when you have the right situation, meaning that your energy is low, it goes into the weakest point in your body, and that's where it develops. That's why, for example, when you have any type of cancer, it develops in one organ. The medical system extracts that organ, but you're going to keep checking at the beginning of the 3 or 6 months, and eventually cancer will appear in another organ. It's because the bacteria that causes cancer are still in your system. They're just under control, right? They're not being eradicated from your system. They're just somewhere else. And when the energy is low, they go and attack that certain organ. Yes.
Oh, no, I was going to ask what sort of agents there are, and you kind of covered that. You said they're bacteria, right?
Okay, no, they're virus, bacteria, fungi, and parasites.
Okay.
Those are about 95% of the illnesses that any living entity comes along. So, simple illnesses like you have the flu is by usually a virus or a bacteria. The medical system can give you an antibiotic which controls the bacteria. The virus, you have to control it with teas or natural things. And then you have, for example, diarrhea, which is caused by a bacteria too in your digestive system. That's a simple illness. A complex illness are like cancer, AIDS, fibromyalgia, lupus, Alzheimer, which is a combination of 2 agents or more, meaning it can be a virus and a fungi working together, or more than 2 agents, which are more difficult to control in your system. That's why they're hard to get rid of. That does answer your question?
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you actually have to diagnose the illness before you treat it? So you have to actually name it what you are treating?
No. With the muscle testing process, we name every point in your body from head to toes, right? Like I said before. So when you find the unbalanced point, you find the balance point. That's where you know how to put the magnets, depending on which one is plus or minus. So you put that and it creates a neutral environment. That has linked a bacteria or a fungi or an illness or a dysfunction to it. Like each point has a specific illness. The problem here in Canada is that unless you are in the medical field licensed person, you cannot diagnose anything. It's against the law. So you can't say what it has. But if the person is interested, they can go to any information in the internet or books and find this point is linked to this, let's say bacteria or fungi, and it's linked to this illness. And it's very specific, and for every living entity it's the same thing. So you can do this in humans, horses, dogs, cats. The functioning system of a body is the same no matter in which type of living entity.
So you don't even have to know the complaints of the patient.
No.
You just do everything in the body.
Yes,
and you establish
that's right, because it goes beyond. We're trying to balance your entire body. When people complain about a pain or a problem in their body, that's the end result. That's what affects you, but that's not what caused it. So you gotta trace it down all the way to the beginning and get rid of that agent, and then eventually your symptom goes out. But let's say, for example, with diabetes. Diabetes is a very complex, and I would say it's one of the most complex illnesses because there are way too many glands involved in the process, right? We have the pineal and the pituitary, and then the hypophysis, the thymus, and then we have all the other secondary glands. So the main gland gives the signal to the other glands to do their job. They produce hormones or enzymes, and they trigger the other glands. And at the end, the liver, the pancreas, and the kidneys are involved in that process too, because those are the ones that dispose all the toxins out of your body. So when you try to control such a complex illnesses, you gotta start from the end results, which are the cleansing organs, because you gotta make them work properly first, so they can dispose all the other toxins out of your body, and then the glands will start working again at the rate they should be working.
And by that,